What's up, TechRadar? Nick Pino here, and we're talking to Matt from Avenged Sevenfold about a new game today. We're talking about Hail to the King, Deathbat, right?
Yeah,
so it's a new game coming out to mobile devices later this year.
Yep.
All right, do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, you know, it's an action-adventure game. I think it's going to blow some people's minds in terms of, you know, how did a band do this? This is cool. So we're trying to do something that hasn't really been done before. We're trying to compact basically a mini console game and stick it into mobile. And we're not sure if that, you know, audience even exists yet for something like that. You know, a lot of times you play a Zelda game or you play Diablo, you want to sit at home and be on your PC or be on your, you know, Nintendo and have that time to yourself. But we want to challenge people and see if maybe, you know, they want to play that sort of a game on mobile devices. And we've done it in a pretty cool way. And I think we've done a pretty good job on it. Sure.
So now it's an action-adventure game.
Action-adventure game.
Very, it's like Zelda. It's like, what else? How would you describe it?
Yeah, Zelda's a tough word to throw out there, obviously, because there's a lot of expectations that come along with that.
Sure.
You know, obviously one of the greatest gaming franchises. It's my favorite gaming franchise, but there's a lot of things that are like a nod to Zelda, like the NPC interaction and just the no hand holding through levels. But it is a top-down action adventure, so there's a lot of gauntlet in there. There's some, you know, on the first time you look at it, you might say this looks a little bit like Diablo or like what Diablo would look like on mobile. But there's also a lot of different things in there, like a Super Meat Boy side-scroller type aspect where, you know, you played a little bit of it. Yep. You saw there's a lot of difficulty where there's a lot of timing and getting the virtual controls and just balancing on things and timing things and going on side missions and adventures. So it's just a fun game. It's just it's just got a lot of nods to old school games.
And so what I love about it, it's inspired, so each level is inspired by a song, correct?
Yep.
What level I played was called Bat Country from your 2005 album, City of Evil.
Yep.
What else can people expect? Like, are there any levels that you can talk about?
Yeah, I mean, there's Nightmare, which the game starts off in. And you know, just so people know, the game started off as like, hey, let's make a game that's about Avenged Sevenfold's world and the artwork we've created, the songs we've created. We've stuck to that a little bit, but we more, you know, at this point, the game became bigger than that. It became more of a story about Andronicus, our Deathbat character, which is our logo that we've had since day one. And you're basically controlling him to work around this world of evil and darkness, and you're basically trying to make the world good again. It's obviously not Earth, but a deeper story than that, but that's for people to play, right? That's like the experience, to learn it. But there's Nightmare, there's Afterlife, there's a little piece of Heaven. You fight in Heaven for a while, and Heaven's been overrun by demons. You fight in the Wicked End, which is also from City of Evil. And there's Unholy Confessions, which is a big song of ours. There's a level like in a graveyard. So it's a lot of cool Avenged Sevenfold little things in there, but it's not necessarily all about Avenged Sevenfold.
Sure. I hate to bring it back to that, but let's talk a little bit about the music in the game. You guys,
no, it's all good, yeah.
Yeah, you guys made you have some chiptune style music.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, we wanted to do some stuff that felt old school, like in some of our influences growing up were like Castlevania, and a new soundtrack, the Super Meat Boy soundtrack is a big influence on me, and a lot of that stuff is just neoclassical music, and they basically made tones in Japan or wherever they made them, and you have those 8-bit tones with great music. So for us, we wanted to do the same thing but bring a little bit of a 2014 feel to it, so the music sounds bigger and fuller, but at the same time there's a lot of that throwback. For instance, if you die, in Mario you'd hear do-do-do-do-do, or whatever you'd hear.
Right. In
this game you hear an 8-bit sound of do-do-do-do, you know, like little things that kind of give a wink to the old 8-bit sounds and the old 8-bit games.
So now tell me, does this have a machinima tie-in? Can we talk a little bit about this?
Well, the thing with machinima is they wanted to do a little bit of a story of what happens before the game. And to be honest, I think we released it a little too early because the game wasn't ready, and we thought the game was going to be ready, and then you go to QA and you realize games take a long time to really work on. This game has taken us 2 years at this point. But you want it to be right, and you don't want to rush it, right? So the machinima thing was cool because we had John Schnepp, who does Metalocalypse, basically animated what happened before you play the game. We've redone that in the game where you know, you have the cutscenes in the beginning and some art to kind of get you up to speed. But yeah, Machinima was really vocal and helped us a lot with getting the awareness out of the game coming. But I think the game is at a whole new place now, a whole new level. So it's exciting to kind of see what people think now.
Awesome. Matt, you're a huge gamer.
Yep.
You wrote 3 songs for the Call of Duty franchise,
Yep.
correct?
Yeah, well, we've written 2 and we've probably had 5 or 6 of them in there now.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. They've been big supporters of Avenged. It's cool.
Nice. So what do you think working on your own game is like versus working on the music, let's say, of another game? I mean, I'm sure it's worlds apart.
It is worlds apart, but there's a lot of, you know, a lot of things that are parallel. Both of them take a lot of work, and it comes down to like the finish line. You know, how bad do you want this, and how good do you want it to be. When you're writing a song, you can always settle. Mm-hmm. You can always say, well, this is pretty good, or I liked this yesterday, but I'm not feeling it today. But if I liked it yesterday, it's probably pretty good. Same thing with games. You know, you sit there, and one of the big reasons this took so long was, you know, we were a year and a half in, and we sat back and looked at ourselves and said, well, what do we want to see that's going to make this better? All right, add another 6 months on. You know, let's do this. And so it's all about pushing yourself. And for us, writing music, that's in our wheelhouse. You know, we've been doing that for a long time. We grew up doing that. So writing a song for Black Ops is cool because they send us like, you know, the cut scene and say, this is what we want it to be like, and we can really imagine that, and that's what we do. Doing a game's a whole new thing, but it's been really a great experience, and hopefully the people enjoy it.
So then the last thing I'll ask you is like what's coming down the pipeline for Avenged Sevenfold? Are you guys still writing? You guys touring? What's
well, we're on tour right now. We've been on tour for Hail to the King, the album, for it'll be almost a year once summer hits. But we go to Europe all of June. We headline Mayhem Festival all of July. We go to Japan. And then we're going to take off some time, but we're actually re-releasing an old album that we did called Waking the Fallen with a bunch of demos, a bunch of unreleased tracks. And then by Christmas time, we're going to release a live DVD called This Is Backcountry of the rest of the world, and Avenged Sevenfold. We've been filming it for about 6 years now. So that's going to be cool. And then most importantly, I mean, in between all that, we're doing the game.
Matt, thanks again for joining us today.
You're very welcome.
And you can look forward to playing Hail to the King Deathbat coming to mobile devices near you sometime soon.
Yep, July, August, September.
Sometime in
there.
Great.
Yeah, summer, it'll be out.
We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.